Hey, please be joined this time by Coach David Stapleton. All right, the head football coach at Ashford in Alabama. Coach, how's it going?
It's going well, Coach. I appreciate you having me on and working through some of those technical difficulties.
Yeah, no
Uh,
problem. Hey, they
but no,
tell
I appreciate you having me.
you're like in some capacity a Baldwin County, Alabama man. They tell me.
That's it. Yes, sir. Yes, I'm from Fairhope, Alabama. Um, I think you got some ties to Foley.
Yeah.
So I talked to
Oh
your
yes.
dad not too long ago and
Yeah.
made that connection. But appreciate everything he's doing. I've got some stuff on these slides that his resources and what they do for the state of Alabama. I put some of that on here and what you do for the state and what you do for high school football and myself included. I think when I got this first job, I was constantly listening to the podcast on the way from Tuscaloosa down to Ashford, Alabama on those drives, just trying
Yeah.
to soak up as much as I can. So I appreciate everything you're doing for high school football.
Thanks, Coach. Anybody bringing up Fairhope, Tuscaloosa, Foley, all in the same time? That's my guy. So let me get out of your
That's
way
it.
and let you have at it, man. I appreciate you doing this.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you having me. Um, I'll go ahead and get started. So, my name's David Stapleton. I'm the head football coach at Ashford High School, the athletic director, and I also call our defense. And what I'm going to be hitting on today is about our 3-3 stack defense and how we stunt and blitz out of this defense. And kind of give you a background of how did we get here. So, and kind of how the stack came to be at Ashford High School and where I learned it from. Because to be honest with you, everything that I've learned has been stolen from some great coaches that I've had a chance to work for. So I wouldn't be doing the right thing if I didn't mention these people that I work for. But Justin Jones was the first one to hire me at Cordova High School in 2019, and that's actually where I learned the stack. Learned it under Coach Jones at Cordova. We had a great year there. I was the linebackers coach, and then Coach Jones and I went to Prattville High School with Coach Ross, who was the head coach at Prattville at the time. He hired Coach Jones as the D coordinator, and he hired me to come coach linebackers. Again, still running the 3-3 stack. Um, and then Coach Ross took a job at Troy. He was the off the field guy at Troy. He's now the head football coach at Fairhope High School. Actually, he just got that job. And then Justin Jones took a job at Beauregard High School, and so that kind of left me in a position of what's next. And my former head coach that I played for and that I think super highly of, Adam Weingarten, called me and offered me a job to come coach corners at Tuscaloosa County High School. And so I definitely couldn't turn that down. I played for him, so it was a once in a lifetime opportunity to go and do that and work for a coach that I played for. So we had a really good 2 years there. And during that time, he did a great job of mentoring me as well as the former two head coaches that I had that I worked for with Justin Jones and Caleb Ross. But Coach Weingarten really pushed me to start interviewing for these head football coaching positions and to get the experience. He hosted a head football coaching school, I guess you could call it, in the off season. And and so one of the biggest things was getting out there and interviewing and going through that process. So in 2023, interviewed at Ashford High School, which was 3A at the time, and Dr. Chambers called me on the way home from that interview and offered me the job. And so, that's where I'm at now. I've been here for the past 3 seasons, going on my fourth. We've had a really good run. It's been a blessing to be here. Super thankful for all the people that helped me get here. So that's where we're at now, and going to go ahead and start moving forward here. So to kind of give you a picture, an idea of what Ashford was before 2023, before I got there, to kind of paint the picture for you. Uh, the 3 seasons prior, they were 4-25. The 7 seasons prior, they were 15-54. Their region record since 2014 was 9-44. They hadn't been to the playoffs since 2014. Hadn't won a playoff game since 2002, and the roster had 25 active varsity football players playing in 2022. And I'm not saying this and I'm not putting anybody down or anything like that. I think the program was in a bad place for quite a while. And something that I've heard you say, Coach Parker, is like when you take that first head coaching job, you're either getting promoted where you're at or you're taking over a struggling program. And to be honest with you, it was a struggling program. That's the best way to put it. And I don't think it fell on any one person. I just think it was a number of years combined, and it really got to a bad place. And so I had to take over a struggling program and, jump in with both feet and never look back since. So fast forward, okay, since 2023, we're 17 and 15 overall the past 3 seasons. Our region record since 2023 is 12 and 10 overall, 2 consecutive playoff appearances. First playoff win in 22 years. It's one of only 5 total playoff wins in the history of the school. We allowed 14.7 points per game in 2025, 18.6 points per game allowed in region play since 2023. We were the first ever Ashford team to beat a 6A program, and now our roster is at 73 active players heading into spring. So again, it's been a great experience, and this all these accomplishments are not because of me, and it's definitely taken a village and total buy-in from our superintendent all the way down to the custodian at the school. And so super thankful to be here and thankful for what we've done, these coaches and these players. Super thankful for my admin, giving me this opportunity and letting me lead this program and kind of bring it out of the bottom. So I think it's one of those things that we're not where we want to be yet. We're not to our ceiling yet, but we're getting there. And I think that the proof is there, and the kids have been able to see that, the community. So I'm super proud of where we're at as a program after 3 seasons and where we're going to continue moving forward. So why the 3-3 stack? Like I said earlier, it was the first defense that I learned. So for me, I just kept studying it and leaning into it and really liked it and just tried to learn as much about the stack as I possibly could. Listen to different podcasts about the stack and just really fell in love with the defense. But overall, it's a versatile structure. It allows us to be multiple. We don't stay in a 3-man front all the time, and we find different ways to get to a 4-man front, a 5-man front. It's always been easier to find 3 defensive linemen rather than 4. We're a 4A high school, and to kind of give you an idea, in Alabama, you got 1A to 6A now, what used to be 1A to 7A. And even at the 7A level, when we were at Prattville, Tuscaloosa County High School, it was really hard to find 4 true defensive linemen. So for me, it's always been easier to find 3 dudes to put down on the defensive line and go from there. Get more speed on the field. Obviously we're going to put another linebacker in there and he can walk down or we can bring him back, but it's easier to me to walk him down rather than bring a D in and put him back in the box. It's adjustable. You're going to see on a couple of these clips, we're playing more than just the spread. We run the stack against teams that ran the double wing, the single wing. So we've been able to adjust. It's different, and what I mean by that is when you play a team or you're kind of on the board with a coach and maybe they're scheming up and preseason, well, when they're drawing their offense against the defense, it's usually going to be against a 4-down front, like a over or an under. They're very rarely going to put an odd front up there and start drawing up slants and how are you going to block that? And I think most people will find a way to scheme it up, but I just think right off the jump, it's different. It's like the single wing offense. It's just different. You don't see it every week. It's easy. And I say it's easy because it was the first defense that I learned as a coach. And our players have always adapted to it, enjoyed it. I've coached some really good players, and I wouldn't say they were 30 plus ACT guys. I think they were just guys that love the game, guys that love football. And for me to be able to communicate to these high school kids, that's what really matters, getting them to do it. And so far, we've been able to do that at every school I've been at, and it's been a different demographic everywhere I've been, but we've always been able to install it, and it's always been an easy transition. And then last, it's fun. The kids enjoy it. I enjoy calling it. Our coaches enjoy it. a lot of the stuff we do, like my DB coach, he says it's nasty. So, like it's just fun. Our kids have completely bought into it, and it's really helped, set the tone for our team, and our kids believe in it. So, they've had a chance to play some pretty good defense, and I've enjoyed watching them. So our 3-3 stack positions and alignment. Just this is just base. I won't go too deep after that, but we put our ends in five techs, our nose in a zero. We put our lion is our strong side linebacker. He's going to be in a 40 tech. Our Mike is going to be in a double zero. Our Ram is going to be in a 40 tech. He's our weak side linebacker. And you say, Coach, why do you call them Ram, Mike, and Lion? I call them that because that's what Justin Jones called them. So I call them that to this day. So I think it's just right, middle, left. But the Lion's the strong, the Ram's the weak. We got the Mike in the middle. We have our field corner at 6 yards. He's outside leverage and the number one receiver. Strong safety. He's 3x3 off of number two. Our free safety, we got his heels at 9 yards. I don't like him or the weak safety to go more than 3 yards outside or inside of the hash. Weak safety's got the same alignment, heels at 9 yards. And you can always adjust that based on who you're playing or how you feel they are in the passing game, if they got a vertical threat. Our boundary corner, we have him at 5 yards, outside leverage at number one. We play a split field defense, field and boundary. And I won't get too much into the coverage as much as I will the stunts and the pressures, because I could talk about this forever. That's going to be our base alignment right there. And we just call it base 52. So we play cover 5 to the field and cover 2 to the boundary. Some people call it quarter, half. Justin just said it's cover 5 because it's like cover 3, and you got cover 2 to the boundary. So we'll mix them together and call it 5. So that he's just a wiregrass coach, and he gets after it, and he doesn't make it as complicated as it needs to be. So we just call it 52. I call it that because that's what I learned, and that's what we base out of. We don't live in that, but that's base day one install during spring. The first thing we're going to talk about is our rip, Liz, and pinch stunts, and we're really going to work this thing from 3-man and kind of work backwards all the way to a 7-man pressure. So again, we like to move in the stack, and I'll kind of talk about that here in a second. But rip, it just means our D line is slanting to the right. Liz, it means our D line is slanting to the left. Pinch just means that we're slanting them in. Our linebackers are responsible for the opposite gap of the D line. And we want to slant to cause penetration and disrupt blocking assignments. Also get guys going where their guys are going. So if they have a tendency, maybe their offensive coordinator likes to go to their sideline. Well, we can slant that way, and get our dudes going in that direction. And then I like what Kirby Smart said a while back. I heard him say it, or I read it somewhere, but I found it and made sure I put it on this PowerPoint because it's so true that the game is like a battleship. If you leave your stuff in the same spot all the time, they'll eventually blow you up. And that's, again, I'm thinking about a 4 down front. If you just live in over, or you live in under, and you're not moving your guys, well, they're just going to scheme that up and find ways to move the football and get angles and block things up how they need to block them. So with the stack, we've got the element of surprise, and we like to move our kids. And the whole time we're doing all this, it looks complex, but it's really not. We're still gap sound, and we're making sure that we're fitting things up how they need to be fit. But we want to make sure our guys are moving, and that those kids on the other side of the ball don't really know where our kids are going. Because again, it's not me versus those kids; it's our kids versus their kids. So again, I think it's put our kids in the best situation, but moving forward right here. Okay, this is just going to be Liz. All right, kind of gives you a picture right there. All right, again, just slanting to the left. That's all that means, right? Just slanting one gap over. Okay, I have a clip here for you. Again, running Liz. I'll go to the tight. Just slanting to the left, letting our linebackers fit. Getting counter. Do a pretty good job. We spill everything in the box, and we box everything outside of the box. So if you're in the box, we spill it. You're outside of the box it. Our weak safety does a good job keeping his outside arm free. Overall, good fit right there. Then rip. Okay, again, just slanting to the right, going one gap over to the right. All right. Okay, you might say, Coach, well, he just slipped. The running back just slipped. Well, why did he slip? Well, he slipped because we're slanting. Go to the tight shot. Better look right here. Make sure I cut this volume off so y'all aren't hearing our cowbells in the back. But he takes a lateral step. We're looking at number 11 right here. Lateral step and gets vertical. That tackle didn't have a chance. This is Pike County. Good football team. Coach Hurt does a phenomenal job with his kids. Took them to the playoffs, I think 2 out of the 4 years or 3 times out of the 4 years he was there. But he's slanting. He's getting vertical. The running back sees him, tries to make a cut, right? But we're just causing penetration. We're getting in the backfield, and we're doing it with 3 down linemen, right? Causing negative plays. And then pinch. Okay. All right, this is kind of what I was talking about when we can adjust, right? And we adapt to who we're playing. So we're playing Strawn High School right here. Really great tradition, great football team, running some double tight, double wing, pretty nasty stuff that they were doing. All we're doing is pinching our D lineman, and we're still in stack right here. We're still in stack. They ran a lot of triple option. We ran a couple different line stunts with our D line. Pinching them right there, hopes to take the dive. Our Mike does a great job of scraping over the top. Good fits all the way around. Kind of causes trash right there in the middle, scrapes over the top, and makes a great play. Don't love how high the D linemen are, but they're doing their job. They're in the right place, and they're doing the right thing. So again, where we need to be, okay, disrupting the play just with 3 down linemen. Our 4-man pressures, okay, so we usually run these with linebackers. We'll do it with DBs, and I'll show you a couple clips of that. We pair it with our Rip and Liz stunts to try to put stress on the OL. Still keeps us gap sound. We make sure we're sound on the back end as well. And why do we like doing this? Well, we want to put a more athletic linebacker on a less athletic offensive lineman, or a more athletic DB on a less athletic offensive lineman. And another reason why we do it is it gets into your over-under fronts. I'll pause a couple clips here in a minute, and when you're blitzing like that, it ends up looking like a 5, a 3, a shade of 5. So we can get into those different looks. And to be honest with you, we're more often than not going to bring 4 or more. We very rarely just run our line stunts with those 3. Like I showed you, I had trouble the other day finding clips of us running just Rip or Liz, because we bring 4 or more often than not. We can still play our base coverage behind our 4-man pressures. We make sure the name of the blitz is similar to the position running it. So an example of a 4-man pressure is lob, right? So that's lion blitzing through the B gap. And lob, the signal is pretty easy. It's easy. We make sure it's easy for the coaches. It's easy for the kids. All right. This is Mike Strong. This is going to be Mike Strong. Okay. 4-man pressure right here. It's Mike going through the A gap. This is us against New Brockton High School. Go to the drone shot, kind of a better view right here. The nose is going weak. Our mic's going strong. So we got 2 and A gap. They're double teaming the nose. The mic comes from depth. The center ends up coming off the nose. And our defense, our nose is usually a war daddy. He gets off that block, and then here we go. We're getting back there with 4. Sack. Again, just creating a negative play. Getting them behind the sticks. Okay. This is lob, lying through the B gap. Lying through the B gap. Same game. Okay. All right. This is later in the game. This is probably about a series or 2 later. All right. Running lob. Okay. Again, we got back there earlier. I think we had a few sacks in this game. Okay. So now the quarterback, again, we've affected the quarterback. We've affected his mentality. He knows he's got to get rid of that ball quick. So now we've affected his decision making, right? Okay. Throws a pick 6. Okay. Go to the drone shot right here. Again, we're just running lob. Okay, this is later in the game. Here we go. All right. Looks like a 4 down front. We got a 5, a 3, a shade, and a 5. Okay. Bring in 4. He showed it a little bit early. Fine with that. Don't have a problem with that. All right. The quarterback knows. Okay. He's probably been sacked 2 to 3 times at this point. I got to get rid of the ball. Pick. Strong safety. Did a phenomenal job right there. Great coverage. But again, we didn't get the sack, but we're affecting the quarterback. Okay. He knows he's got to get rid of the football. Great play. It's fun. Our sideline's hype. Having a good time, man. Kids are getting after it. Lock. We call this lock. Okay. Lying through the C gap. Lock. Against Pike County. This is actually the first play of the game. We're ripping the D line. We're bringing our line off the edge, C gap. Forced fumble. You say, Coach, well, it was bad at the mesh. Well, why was it bad at the mesh? Right now, he sees him. He sees that linebacker coming right now. Loses the ball. Here we go. Negative play. Again, with the D line, we're slanting them away from the pressure. They're running rip, and then we're running lock. Okay. You say, well, Coach, he's not in the stack right there. It looks more like a 3-4. We broke the stack to better align to trips, but still able to bring him from that alignment. Again, negative plays. Get them behind the sticks. Having fun. All right. Show you a DB running it. So this is wing. Okay. So has a W in it. It's for our weak safety. He's running a C gap pressure, C gap blitz. Again, we're slanting the D line away. We're gap sound. Okay. We're locking it to the boundary coverage wise. Again, I won't go too deep into that and what we're doing to the trips, but we're sound. We're sound to the boundary. We're sound to the field. Okay. But again, we get the DBs in the mix too. Not a bad job timing it up. Again, this is about midway through the season. The team that we're playing, they've done a good job scouting us. They know we like to bring them. That quarterback knows we're coming. And again, we didn't get a sack or, but something tells me he was probably a little bit hurried there, right? Go to the tight shot. Colt. Okay, this is Colt right here. This is us bringing the corner. It's got a C in it. Okay, so Colt for the boundary corner. All right, weak safety playing over the top of one. Guys do a great job rallying to the football. Great job timing it up by that corner. And again, did we get there and get the sack? No. But do they know they have to get the ball out in a hurry? Yes, absolutely. Okay, our kids do a great job of rallying to the football. I think a lot of times the answer is we'll just throw the screen. But our guys are playing with a lot of effort, a lot of energy. It kind of looks like pursuit drill right there, really. We run that in spring. We run pursuit drill in fall camp. Our kids are rallying, doing a great job getting to the football. But again, we get DBs in the mix. We want to have a chance to bring everybody. I think the only person we've never brought is the field side corner. But other than that, it's fair game for everybody else on that defense. And eventually, maybe we'll figure out how to bring the field corner. Here's the tight. This is a little bonus here, and again, some of the Kirby Smart type deal, but also got it from Justin Jones again. He going from stack to 4 down. It's not really a pressure, but we're stemming the front pre-snap. The weak side end is going to stay in a 5 tech. Our nose is going to bump to a 2. Strong side end is going to bump to a 2. The line's going to walk down to a 5 tech. Mike and Ram are going to move to head up the guards. And then we can rip and Liz with those head up 2s. We just call this 4 down, right? And then I put it on there again. Remember, change the picture pre-snap. Kirby Smart said about battleships, right? So we need to move, okay? Move. If you stay in the same place, they're going to blow you up. There it is right there, pre-snap. Our Mike's making the call. He makes a move call. Here we go. Really fun to watch on film. Pretty mesmerizing. Still gap sound. Great play by our line right there. Phenomenal play. He early enrolled at West Georgia. Great kid, great player. Coming off the edge, just playing fast. I mean, we spill everything in the box. I get it, that ain't a spill, but he's playing hard. It's high energy, high effort. He's scraping hard, making a play in the backfield. I think even if they would have got the kick and the wrap, we got a weak safety that's unblocked. The offensive tackle doesn't seem to know who to block. We move pre-snap. He's kind of missing, kind of gets one of our guys in the back. But I'd like to think we're changing the picture again. Pre-snap. Move. Here we go. Now what? And then you're thinking, okay? And if you think, you stink, right? But we're just playing fast. It's a low investment. But really enjoy doing that with our kids. Here's the tight. Physical at the point of attack. Again, having fun. High energy. 5-man pressures. Again, we usually run these with the linebackers. We can run them with the DBs, get them involved. We run our 5-man pressures to create one-on-one matchups, negative plays, and affect the run game and the quarterback. We want to make him uncomfortable, have violent intentions. We play zone and man behind our 5-man pressures. It allows us to be aggressive in the box, but more sound in the secondary. And make sure our 5-man pressures start with an S or a W, and that's just strong or weak, okay, to kind of give you an idea how we call it. Right here is just going to be Indy, okay? You got Indy and you got Okie, so I guess that's the exception for not using S or W for strong or weak. But if you can't get Indy or Okie, you cannot play for us because it's probably the easiest 5-man pressure we got, right? And so Indy and Okie obviously don't start with an S or a W, but this is going to be Indy right here. Stack Indy. Okay. We're going to have both ends, okay, going in, both linebackers going out. So you got the ends going B gap, line and ram going C gap. This is the first play of the game. This is right after kickoff. And we're bringing pressure on 1st and 10. We're being physical. Big fan of our end right here. Quarterback feels it. He's throwing off his back foot, incompletion. Okay, again, we didn't get a sack, but we got to hurry right there. Okay, and he knows it's coming. Here's the tight shot. All right, very next play. Okay, we're going to run Okie. Okay, same game, very next play. Now we're going to mix it up. We're going to go Okie. Ends are going to go out, C gap. Line and ram, we're going to go B gap. Throws an interception. And this is the first drive of the game, second play of the game. He knows we're coming. Gets rid of it way too early. I think there's some miscommunication there. Floats it in the air. Our free safety goes and gets it. Picks it off. Second play of the game. Go to the tight right here. Our line actually does a bad job, if I'm being honest. He's got good effort. He's being physical. But if he runs through B gap, he's probably hitting the quarterback in the face. Instead, he runs through A, okay, running right into our nose. Better job up top than down low right there. But again, we're bringing that. So we brought pressure on 1st and 10, brought it on 2nd and 10, bringing 5. Okay, so like it's not just a 3rd down call. We'll make them on 1st and 10, 2nd and 10. It's just what we do. It's against Strawn High School. I'm going to be running Okie here. Here it is against the run. They're running a zone scheme up front. We got the linebacker going B gap, defensive ends going C. Okay, so we got somebody for the dive, somebody on quarterback. If he would have kept it, okay, we got a player on him. Gives it. We got a linebacker in B gap. Makes a great tackle. But we're being physical, playing downhill. This is actually my first year here against Strawn High School. They won the region. This year, I think they won 10 or 11 games, and we took them all the way to the wire. I think we lost by 3 this game. But kids are getting downhill. We're being physical. Great play. Okay, here's the tight. Sword. Okay, so here's where it comes in. Sword is strong, so that's strong side pressure. All right, we're bringing 5 strong. Okay, and this is like everybody's favorite blitz, the NCAA blitz. We like to bring it. We'll go to the opposite side, and we just call it whip. So you got sword and you got whip, right? This is against Rehoboth. I showed some clips of Indy and Okie. This is later in the game. I think at this point we might have a touchdown or 2 touchdown lead. Again, trying to throw the screen. Our defensive end gets his hands up, gets his hand on the ball. And if he catches it, there's a lot of bodies out front for sure, right? Our DV does a good job of avoiding the block. But this is later in the game. By now, we've played several series. This quarterback knows we're coming. He's uneasy. Okay, we've made some plays on him. We've picked him off. He's feeling uneasy. Okay, he's probably not throwing that ball with a whole lot of confidence. Our defensive lineman gets his hands up, and we're playing fast, right? We're not playing scared. We want our kids to play fast with relentless effort, and that's what they're doing right there. I'm not so sure our corner doesn't make that play. Does a good job of avoiding the block. But again, I think the answer is probably usually to throw the screen, but it's always easier said than done because our kids are playing fast, they're playing hard, and we're trying to swarm to the football. And here's the tight. And to talk more about it, we got the end. He's long sticking into A gap. Okay, the lion is going C, and the Mike's going B, right? The nose is slanting away from the pressure. The end slanting away from the pressure on the weak side. Okay, sword switch. So we'll tag them. We'll tag our pressures. Okay, so sword switch. We're still running our 5-man pressure. We're still running it strong. We're still running sword. But now we've tagged it with switch. And what does switch mean? Switch means the Mike's going to go first. The end's going to go second. Okay, Mike's going to go first. End's going to go second. All right, so it's almost like a rub, a pick right there. Okay, this is against Tallahassee, the second round of the playoffs, my second year. Again, there you go right there. The Mike goes first and goes second. Don't love our lion right here. Really don't. Wish he'd have been coming a lot faster than that. He was a little bit hesitant. I don't really know what he was waiting on, but he needs to go. Our Mike's doing a great job. I mean, he really beats 2 blocks. Defensive end does a good job of looping. Good execution. I mean, everybody's in the right spot. I don't know what that line's waiting on. But this is sword switch. Sword switch. Still running sword. It looks different. It's still the same pressure. Okay, we're just changing who goes first and who goes second. I think we actually end up getting a PI call right here, and that happens too. Okay, so these are high schoolers, and again, we're playing man. We're playing man, and that happens. Okay, but again, our kids are being aggressive. We're playing fast. We're playing relentless. We're not playing scared. And that's how we're going to play. So, it's going to happen. We'll take the 15 yards and we'll live for another down. Okay, 6-man pressures. All right. We like it as our empty check, and really it's because, again, it's easy. It's easy math. All right. 6 is greater than 5. We'll play 0 coverage behind it, or 52 coverage, which is our zone. I think some people would call it eyes. Okay. We like to overwhelm the quarterback, overwhelm the protection. It looks pretty intimidating when you walk 6 guys up to the line of scrimmage, trying to force a bad throw, okay, or create a negative play, sack, interception, sack, fumble, quarterback hurry, right? So we can sell out on the run when we do it. It is high risk, but high reward. Again, we're trying to create negative plays, okay? So, again, I want my kids to attack. We want to think with an offensive mindset on defense. We're really trying to play downhill, attack, be physical. So again, if they get an empty and they got 5, then we're going to bring 6. And we're not always playing 0. We can play zone. We can mix it up. So we're not always giving the same look. Kind of how it looks. Okay. We can bump the ends into B, line and ram. We can walk down to C. We can scheme it up however we want to with the Mike and the nose, but essentially they're going to be responsible for both A gaps. Okay, I got no fly zone in the middle, all right, because we're going to be probably playing 0 coverage, okay, if we're not playing our zone, right? If we're just playing straight man D, we're bringing 6. There's no fly zone in the middle. You have no help in the middle of the field. Okay, here's a clip of it. Again, bringing 6. Somebody's unblocked. I think right there it might have been our Mike. He just runs straight free, misses him, end up getting the sack. Here it is from the drone shot. It's just simple math. It's easy. It's it's not rocket science. They got 5, so we're gonna bring 6. I don't want to play base and play some type of split field zone to empty. We want to go get them. We want to attack. And again, it's simple. It's simple math, right? They got 5 and we got 6. Okay. So who you gonna block, right? Or Mike goes free right up the middle, it just misses him. Still end up getting the sack. Okay, running it against Strawn a few years back. Bad coverage at the bottom. But again, he doesn't have a whole lot of time. He's running for his life back there. We're bringing 6. We're coming. So they got 5 and we got 6. Then he looks to one guy and starts taking off. So we end up fixing the coverage in the same game. But again, he had enough time just to look in one direction and then he's taking off. Here's the tight. Better job in coverage. Now he's getting rid of it. Okay, I think this is the same drive. They got an empty again. He knows. Quarterback was a great player, phenomenal player. This is, I think, a 10 or 11 win team. And that was a senior at quarterback. He was high IQ, tough, intelligent, and he knows. Okay, we got 6 guys walked up on the line of scrimmage, and he knows now. Okay, I got to get rid of this football. All right, puts a little too much on it. Okay, no shot. Here's the tight. Better job in coverage. All right. We showed our 4 down front earlier. We'll get them in 2s. Okay, and we'll walk our line down. All right, still can bring 6 right here and then play zone behind it. All right, we bring it with the Mike and the Ram, and we would just call this Indy. Okay, so we go 4 down, Indy. All right, that's just talking to the nose and the end, telling them to go in. The Mike and the Ram, they're going to go out. Okay, so nose and in, you're going A gap. Mike and Ram, you're going B gap. Okay, the end and the Lion, just still going C gap, but we're bringing 6. Okay, playing zone behind it. And find different ways to get into this look. Still bringing 6. It looks like a 7th. Okay, I don't love our weak safeties alignment right there. I think at this point the quarterback was hurt, got hurt mid-game, put another kid in there, being really aggressive. Again, nosing in, going in, Mike and Ram going out. Just calling that 4 down, Indy. Seven-man pressures. Okay, so we'll get into bare front. All right, they want to get in red zone. Okay, and we're trying to get them out. Okay, especially if they got a field goal kicker, which some teams in our region do. Okay, kids that can kick pretty well. All right, so get them out of the red zone, force negative plays. All right, nose. Okay, he's going to be board drill in the center, head up. Okay, both linebackers blitzing A gap. All right, playing 0 behind it. Okay, again, that's your look right there. We call that red bullets. Red bullets. Okay, bringing 7. This is play 135 in the game. Throws an incompletion. Okay, and again, he might not be throwing his best ball because we've been back there a lot. Okay, so again, we didn't get the sack. We didn't get a sack fumble. We didn't get an interception, but we've been affecting the quarterback for most of the night. Okay, we're bringing 7. We're being aggressive, playing 0. Okay, Here it is against the run. Other linebacker kind of gets cut off, which really will walk the line and the ram down. We'll bring our free safety into the box and let him play at linebacker. Here's the tight. Great play by our nose, and they're not blocking him. Wraps up, tackle for loss. Running it again. Okay. Other linebacker needs to go. The kid that's at linebacker I think we might have, this is his first game of the year. I think we might have had one cramping, if I'm being completely honest with you. Had to put our strong safety in, and he's a 4-year starter. He knew the defense, but again, he's a little hesitant right there. Get the quarterback out of the pocket, getting another hit on him. Legal hit, still in bounds. I think he gets about a 2-yard gain right there. Okay, but again, we're just harassing the quarterback, okay, making the offense uncomfortable. We're sound in what we're doing. The kids believe in what we're doing. We don't live in this, but we'll change it up. Like we can't live in zero, but when we feel like we can run it, we're going to run it. If we feel like we can be overly aggressive, we're going to be overly aggressive. We're always going to default to that. Here's the tight. Again, you got a 0, 2 3s, 2 5s. Okay, and we put them as linebackers in 30s. Okay, outside eye of the guard. Bringing both of them in a gap. That's all I got, Coach.
All right, Coach. I appreciate it, man. That was good. Yeah, that 3-3, man, that's a good. It gives you a lot of different dimensions, and then people figured out, this is going back 4-year time, but they used to have to play one coverage with it, and that was kind of the problem. And then we figured out we could play a bunch of different things and play too high sometimes behind it, stuff like that. Really revolutionized it. But yeah, and the hashes help it. If they ever go to those NFL type hashes, it make it a little harder actually in some ways, because we can get on the
Right.
hash. You can roll the coverage a little bit better because of the wide high school hash anyway.
Right.
No, I love this, man. It's good stuff. And I'm really impressed with what you guys did at Ashford too, by the way. I mean, I appreciate you bringing that up. I wasn't, and I knew that before you said it, but you guys done a good job building that program. And I know you are often looking at some of the stuff we put out, and a lot of it centered around people getting their team to their maximum potential, And I think you guys are doing that about as well as anybody, man. And I mean that. That's why I'm telling you. So keep it up. Keep it up. Big things to come. If I can ever help you, let me know.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, Coach.
Yeah. Take care, Coach.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
See you.